March to Freedom, Day 8. Welcome back to Dudes Ascend, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and today we're on day 8 of our 30-day March to Freedom from Porn challenge. And today I want to talk about the function of addiction. What do I mean by the function of addiction? What I'm talking about is, what does porn do for you, or whatever the addiction might be that you're working on addressing. Figuring out the function of this behavior is absolutely key to finding a way forward, finding your way to recovery, because if you know what the addiction is doing for you, for me, porn has become a means of escape, a way, a behavior that I can escape into whenever something is coming up, whether it's an emotion that I don't want to feel, a life thing that feels stressful that I just don't want to deal with. That's when the urges to act out with porn come up the strongest for me. So by identifying that function of, okay, it's a means of escaping fear, a means of escaping financial stress, a means of escaping sadness. By identifying that, I can then be equipped to find replacement behaviors that serve the same function, but in a different, better, more healthy, and more effective way. This is all about creating better coping mechanisms, because somewhere along the line, if you've picked up a compulsive habit, that has become a ineffective coping mechanism for you in life. Maybe it's not an escape mechanism for you. Maybe it's a way of just simply relieving stress, or procrastinating, whatever it might be. Getting your mind off stuff, right? By identifying that function, then you can then find effective replacement behaviors. And having a replacement behavior is really important. I talked about this a little bit on day 1 when we were discussing creating a new routine for yourself, like a morning routine in particular. That's one part of creating an effective replacement system, right? Because what you don't want to find yourself stuck in is this white knuckling mode where you're not doing the behavior, but you're feeling super tense and you're feeling like you don't really know what to do with yourself. All of a sudden, maybe if this has become like a daily habit, you might find yourself with extra hours of the day and you don't really know what to do with those hours, right? So this is why it becomes really important to start honing in on what exactly is the addiction doing for you, and try to find other things to fill that gap. So to share a bit more about myself and understanding that porn has become an escape mechanism for emotions that I don't want to feel, particularly sadness or anxiousness around financial issues for me a lot. What I can do to replace that is, one, either really actually allow those emotions that I'm trying to avoid to come through, to come to the surface, to be expressed. Sadness, if I need to just cry, then just doing that, or if I really need to not feel those things, to give myself some kind of distraction from it in the moment because it's too heavy or it's too much. What are some other ways that I can do that? Reading a book is a really great escape for me. It's a way that I can just totally immerse myself. I love fantasy novels. I'm reading this great series by Brandon Sanderson. It's really, really good, and you can see there's plenty of world to escape in, and this is actually book 3, and they're all about this size. Um, so that's a great way for me to just get away a bit in my mind and be inside of this whole like fantasy world. That's just a really good story, and I don't have to think about or feel all those that other stuff that, for a moment. And it's much better for me because I can put a book down and not have to feel the shame and the regret and the down spikes in emotion and stuff that come from acting out with porn. The other big one for me that I've noticed, the escape from financial issues. These are things that we can't really escape from in life. And when I act out with porn and stuff, those issues don't go away. I come back from it even less emotionally equipped to deal with it, usually. And the problem is still there. So, what I've been challenging myself to do is to just really actually face it and, take little tasks like doing taxes or other things that aren't fun, paying bills, figuring out my monthly income versus costs and things, budgeting, finding jobs if I'm realize I'm not making enough, right? What are some other ways of creating income and stuff? And really just taking those things on one step at a time. Sometimes we want to try to figure out the entire big picture all at once, and that's where the stress comes in. But a lot of these life things really just have to be approached one step at a time, and you don't always have to figure out everything all at once, but sometimes just taking one positive action in the direction of the problem that you're trying to solve can do wonders for alleviating some of that stress. So those are my thoughts for today on day 8. I had a audition that I did this morning. It was actually for a pretty good part, and I was worried about it going in, man. I had a lot of other stuff on my mind. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do on this audition, but I really pushed myself to just be like, you know what, it's a good opportunity. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to give it my best. And I actually came out with a pretty good tape, I think. So, I'm feeling good today. I've had a lot going on. Like I said, a lot been on my mind. There's been a lot of stressors going on between just relationship stuff and family things and all this. But life goes so much smoother, and grace and healing can really come in when we meet life on life's terms, as they say in the 12-step program. And that's what we're trying to do here on this march to freedom. So I hope you guys are feeling well. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel to help it grow so that I can help more people who are dealing with these same issues. And make sure you also comment below on if you figured out what is the function of your addiction, what is the function of your porn habit. Let me know. It might create some good conversation, and we're trying to make this effort a community-based thing, right? That's my idea and my hope. So the more engagement, the more comments, the more you can share your story. Like I said yesterday, make your mess your message. It helps other people, man. So much love to you guys. Stay strong, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 9. Oh, baby.